Buddhism believes everything in life is impermanent and always changing. Water is a prime example of this. We are familiar that it can be a solid, liquid, or gas, but did you know that if you put enough energy into water, it can become a plasma like lightning? I remember one winter when I was about 8 or 9 living in Dyersville, Iowa. I left a mason jar filled with water on the front porch to see if it would freeze solid by the time we got back from church. It not only froze solid, it shattered the jar, leaving shards of glass all over the porch. Dad didn't get angry. He said to me that unlike other things that shrink when they get cold, water expands. It increases in volume and floats to the top. That if water was like other things, the lakes would freeze from the bottom up and all the fish would die. He called it a miracle of God. What I learned later is that hydrogen bonds in water molecules force them to spread apart when freezing, making ice less dense than liquid water. A miracle in any case. 1 John 2:13 says, I am writing you, fathers, because you know him who has been from the beginning. I am writing you, young men, because you have overcome the evil one. I have written to you, children, because you know the Father. When we are children, we have unquestioning faith. As young adults, we think we know everything, and later in life, hopefully we know the easy way isn't always the right way. The Quran describes the stages of faith as knowledge, seeing the truth, and strong faith. We build on our initial understandings to hopefully find wisdom. Unitarian Universalists believe in transformation as a way of life. We believe that the revelation is not sealed and that new truths and ways of understanding can emerge. We seek to learn new ideas and grow spiritually and ethically. We seek to create a more loving and just world by dismantling oppression and harm. We believe that none of us are truly free until all of us are free. We respond to social issues such as housing and food insecurity and work to create communities of belonging. Unitarian Universalists value the worth of each person, the need for justice and compassion, intellectual freedom, inclusive love, and the right to choose one's own beliefs. My grandpa Baldock, a devout Baptist until his dying day, said that the best part about America is that you can go to hell any way you want to. He was steadfast that salvation by Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven, but if your government forced you to believe in a certain way, would it be a true saving faith? I want to read the section on transformation in the pamphlet, Covenant, Pluralism, Transformation, Unitarian Universalist Spiritual Disciplines. Everything everywhere that ever was or ever will be is connected. We cannot change one thing without it changing everything and changing ourselves. All of creation is intertwined with, depends on, is affected by, and interacts with all the rest of creation. This interconnectedness helps us understand that Unitarian Universalism is a living tradition. On this path, revelation is not sealed. Each of us defines our relationship with the divine and understands that every being is holy. Transformation is the point. Each of us has the potential to be transformed. Once transformed, we need to go beyond the comfort of the beloved community where we practice covenant and pluralism. Covenant and pluralism support us and empower us to be transformed into all that we can be, and call us out into the world to transform it into a just and loving place. Transformation is the result of staying curious and humble, living into and practicing covenant, accepting and being moved by the experiences of others. It is being open and willing to become and become and become yet again. Unitarian Universalists are not born again. We are born again and again and again. There is always another adventure to have, more to learn, a deeper understanding to gain. Creation is not finished, and neither are we. These concepts may not be difficult to understand. However, they are difficult to practice. Isn't it wonderful that we need not practice alone? Isn't it wonderful that we have each other? You know, when I read this in church this morning, I chose the song Changes by Yes to lead into it. because of the key line, only through love changes come. Love is what drove my biggest transformation. For the longest time, I didn't love myself. Others would tell me they loved me, but I knew that if they only knew what truly went on inside my mind, they would wish I was gone like I did. I fought against suicidal ideation from the time I was 12, when what happened to me should not happen to any child, until the age of 53, when I finally accepted the divorce from my ex-wife 13 years after that happened. The love for my mother kept me going at first, not wanting to break her heart. Later, I added to that I didn't want to give up because it would make it easier for my children to give up. It helped me make it through to the other side, out of the darkness and back into the light. I felt alone, surrounded by people who loved me. And I know there are many who feel they aren't as lucky as I was with love reaching from the outside. But the fact is that because you are still struggling, it means there is some small ember of the love of life left inside of you. My mother and children were what I held on to. Find something to hold on to. And if you look around and see nothing, know that even when you can't feel it, love is there. From myself and millions of others of all faiths who believe in the intrinsic value of each and every life, each story to tell. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." Your story isn't over yet. Never, never give up. May you find peace on our journey, for we're all in this together.